Josh, boy, no credit, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. Tszyu versus Sebastian Fondora. That fight actually pissed me off. I was rooting for Tszyu to win that fight. I wanted Tszyu to win because we all know I wanted to see Tszyu versus Terence Crawford. I had a lot of money on that fight. I actually bet before the fight was even announced. So that's how confident I was in a Tszyu versus Terence Crawford fight. You know, I did a reel a couple weeks ago or a month ago where I said Terence Crawford knocks out Tszyu. And a lot of casual fanboys jumped in my comment section like usual. No, Tim's too big. Tim's gonna beat Crawford. Like, what, bro? These dudes are 7 pounds apart. Like, people don't know shit about boxing. They come on the internet. They just run their mouth in the chat, you know, because they like a fighter. It's okay to like a fighter, but that don't mean you know what goes on in that ring. You don't understand the sport. If somebody like me do my due diligence and come on the internet and break these fights down for you and give you the facts, how are you going to get mad at me for telling you what's going to happen in the fight? What, you want me to show you my bet slip? I have a 99.9% bet ratio on these big fights. Like, I don't come on here trolling, bro. I come on here giving you people the facts, and you get mad at me for telling you the truth. You jump in my comment section, and then when I put you to the test and say, bet me, you refuse to bet, but you rather troll. Well, not everybody refused to bet, because some people betted me this fight. Not Fondora versus Tszyu, but Tszyu versus Crawford. I had a lot of bets for the Tszyu versus Crawford fight. I was going to be a rich man. All my bills were going to be paid. And Tszyu had the nerve to fumble the bag, which pissed me off. Not going to lie, guys. I'm more pissed that Tszyu lost this fight. Not because I'm a huge fan of Tszyu and wanted Tszyu to win the fight. No. I'm pissed because I'm going to lose a lot of money. Well, not lose a lot of money, but not make a lot of money, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Because I had a lot of bets in. And hopefully the Tszyu guys was going to be man enough to pay me like the Earl Spence guys refused to pay me. Because the Earl Spence guys, I still haven't got my money yet. I'm owed a lot of money from the Earl Spence Jr. fight. And I was giving the guys that was backing Tszyu the benefit of the doubt because I bet these guys big money. And I was banking on that Tszyu versus Crawford fight to maximize some money on the sport of boxing. The difference for me and a lot of these guys on the internet, a lot of these guys come on the internet and they just talk boxing, but they don't put money on the sport. So how can their word be bond? How can you take these guys serious if they don't even make $1 off the sport? That goes to show you these guys are trolling when it comes to the sport of boxing. You guys jump in the comment section and y'all troll. I actually put my mouth or put my money where my mouth is. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, Sebastian Fondora versus Tszyu. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fight. And then I'm going to finish it with Crawford versus Tszyu. I meant Crawford versus Fondora or Earl Spence versus Fondora. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit about the fight. Honestly, that was a disappointing fight. How do you lose to a guy who lost to a guy you just beat? That goes to show Tszyu is not a pound-for-pound level talent. He lost to a guy. You know, I'm pretty sure it's happened in history before too. But I'm just saying, in an era like this, it shouldn't be happening. But how do you lose to a guy who lost his last fight by a vicious knockout? Coming off a knockout loss, right? A nasty knockout too. To a guy you just beat So Tim had the advantage on the activity, and he also had the advantage because he beat the guy that fled in Fandora. A lot of people are going to say, well, Fandora was winning that fight. He just got caught. Listen, a loss is a loss, bro. Whether you winning or losing, you get caught, you knocked out, you lost. You know what I'm saying? A loss is a loss. No matter how it comes, it's a loss. Unless it's a robbery, then we can have a say. Everybody clearly knows it's a robbery, then we can say so. But honestly, it was an embarrassing performance by Tszyu because he comes off a good win against Mendoza, and then he goes in there and he drops the bag. He fumbles the bag against Fandora, a guy we all knew his chin is stuck in the air and he's right there to get knocked out. And he doesn't use his height. Tszyu couldn't close the show. Goes to show Tszyu lacks the proper boxing IQ and skill set to be able to close the show and become a real threat in the sport of boxing. You know, and he just had a lot of hype behind him. You know, a lot of people are going to say, man, he only lost because of the blood. He couldn't see. Man, cut the BS, bro. I can bring a bunch of scenarios where guys was cut, they couldn't see, and they still won the fight. A perfect example was Marcus Brown versus Arthur Beterbiev. Beterbiev was cut, and the crazy thing with Beterbiev in the Tszyu fight, Beterbiev was losing the fight, and he was cut. How you losing the fight cut and still find a way to win the fight? Tszyu was winning the fight, and then he gets cut, and then he loses. That goes to show you the lack of heart from Tszyu. You're going to use that as an excuse on why you lost because you got cut and you couldn't see. It makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense, and I'm not buying the BS. So save that for somebody else. So it was an embarrassing performance by Tszyu and Fandora because both guys show they have low IQ on the sport of boxing. They lack defense, and both guys need to go back to the drawing board. Fandora was messed up in the fight too. He was bloody everywhere as well. You know, they get in the ring with a guy like Crawford, it's lights out. And with that being said, if Errol Spence steals the Fandora fight from Crawford, I think a 60 to 70, a 80% Spence beats Fandora. It's a cash-out fight from Fandora, man. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Fandora doesn't have the skill set to beat Errol Spence. He needs great boxing ability, and he's right there to be punished. Errol Spence is going to punish him to the body, break him down, hit him with uppercuts, blind him with the jabs. It's going to be a field day for Errol Spence. He's going to be a punching bag for Errol Spence Jr. Let's be real. He's going to be a punching bag. Errol Spence keeps a high guard. It's going to be hard for Fandora to break that high guard. Errol Spence would have destroyed Tszyu as well. Tszyu doesn't have great defense. He fights with his freaking hands down. You know, a lot of people was picking Tszyu to beat Errol Spence. I'm not the biggest Errol Spence fan in the world, but in the Errol Spence versus Tszyu and Fandora fight, Errol Spence cooks both of those guys. If he comes in the fight, at least, and 60 is the lowest I want to give him, but if he comes in at least 60%, he beats both Tszyu and, Fandora. I mean, those styles match up. And I always call Earl a basic fighter, but those guys are basic fighters, bro. The skill gap is too huge. And if we put those guys in the ring with Crawford, I can guarantee you both Tim and Fandora get knocked out. Probably knocked out cold. But boxing fans don't see that. They can't understand that the smaller guys in the lower weight classes are levels above the bigger guys in the higher weight class because all they see is weight and they don't see the skill set. If you have elite pound for pound level skill set and you can land clean punches at will, do people not understand getting hit over and over with clean shots, no matter how big you are, you're going to go to sleep? Do you not understand skills over weight majority of the time, depending on how much you go up in weight? Do people not understand that? Well, y'all going to learn, man. I'm so mad I can't make my money off of Tszyu, though. Tszyu fumbled the bag for me. But anyway, it's your boy No Credit. I'm out.